Okay, so we're going to start with, we're just going to do standard form all day today. And when we graph an equation in standard form, trust me, it is way faster to know how to find x and y intercepts and find the slope than it is to change the equation over into y equals mx plus b form in most cases, especially the ones I'm going to give you. So we're going to focus today on learning a new method or practicing this new method that you haven't done a lot of. And if you hate this new method, in the future you can use whatever method you want. But for today, we're doing it this way. Okay, so everybody's going to find their x and their y intercepts and their slope every single time for these graphs. And we're going to write them down in your work so that you get those points. So to find the x-intercept, do we know how to find any x-intercept, like for any equation ever? On the graph, the x-intercept is on the x-axis. What do you know?
Plug in 0 to y.
Yeah. On the x-axis, the zero value is, the y value is 0. So to find the x-intercept, just plug in 0 for y. And solve for x. So it would look like x value, comma, 0. And then to find the y-intercept, who knows how to find y-intercept? Logan?
Plug in 0 for x.
Plug in 0 for x. Thank you. Solve for y, and write the answer as 0y. That works for like all equations. To find the slope, this only works for standard form, what we're about to write down. Find the slope when it's in standard form. When it's in standard form, how do we find the slope? Very good.
What was it? Negative a over b.
Yeah, negative a over b. So we're going to do that. First thing, I'm going to go ahead and find the slope first, because that's just that formula. And if you don't have that memorized, then every time that you do it in notes and every time you do it in homework, write down the formula. Slope, m equals negative a over b. So if you keep writing it down, you're going to remember it. So I do negative 3 over 2. Done. Got my slope. Next, we're going to find x and y intercepts. I like to do it in a nice little chart. Stay organized. You're welcome to copy my chart if you like. I like to stay organized. So with the x-intercept, we plug in 0 for y. So we can find x. So we'll do 3x plus 2 times 0 for y equals negative 12. Well, 2 times 0 is 0, and if it's 0, it's not there. So really, I have 3x equals negative 12. So now I have x is negative 4. I write negative 4, 0. Ordered pair. Y-intercept, same thing, except for this time we're making x 0. So once the x is 0, 3 times 0 is gone. I really have 2y equals negative 12. So x is negative 6. Nope, that's y is negative 6. I can't read my own handwriting. Okay. 0, negative 6. Now we're going to plot the information negative 4, 0, and 0, negative 6. And we all have straight edges. I'm going to almost always give you these graphs that have 10 for each axis, like 10 positives, 10 negatives, so that if instead of counting where 7 is, you could like just count back 3, make it a little bit easier on yourself. I like almost do that always. Okay, 2 points is enough to graph a line, especially if you're really good at using a straight edge and your points are plotted accurately. If you needed to find any more points, you could just use your slope, which we had to find anyway. So the slope was -3/2. You could go down 3, right 2, or you could go up 3, left 2 to find more points. Make sure that you have an accurate line using a straight edge and your arrows that show that it goes on forever. Nice. Next one. Okay, what should we find first? Find it. Right on your slope. Let's find your x and y intercepts. Find your slope. Find your x and y intercepts. I will do mine in a moment. I'm just giving you this extra time to see if you can do it without my help. And then you can check with mine as soon as I go up there and write it. Okay, the second time that I'm going to do it, I'm just going to skip one step. It's not totally skipped. I'm just not writing it down. When I go to the x-intercept, I make y 0. So if I make y 0, I'm not even writing it down. I'm going to write 4x equals 2. So it's kind of like that second step that I wrote in the first example. Divide by 4, I get a half. After I reduce it, it becomes a half. So a half 0. Y-intercept, if I do y-intercept, I'm getting rid of x, so that's gone. I have negative y equals 2. Y is -2, so 0, -2. So I'm going to plot a half 0, but that's a fraction. I'm not very accurate. Plot 0, -2. If I connect these and my line is just off a little bit, like all the way at the edges, the dots are going to be like way off. So I feel like I need some more ordered pairs. My slope is 0. I can use the slope from either ordered pair. Which ordered pair should I use it from? Okay.
Y.
Yeah, the y, because it's like a whole number. I'm going to use it on the whole number before I would use it on a fraction. So up 4 over 2, wait, over 1, up 4 over 1. Or I could go down 4 left, down 4 left. And you could see my x-intercept is right on that line as well. So 6x plus 4y equals 10. Slope's going to be negative a over b. So negative 6 over 4. Reduce that, negative 3 over 2. X-intercept, y-intercept. X-intercept, get rid of y. 6x equals 10. So x is 10 over 6, which is 5/3. 5/3, 0. Y-intercept, get rid of x, 4y equals 10. Y is 10 over 4, which is 5/2. 0, 5/2. So I'm going to plot 5/3. That's approximately 1 and 2/3 on the x-axis. I'm just going to do my best. And 0, 5 halves is 0, 2 1/2. I'm going to do my best to try to be as accurate as I can. Again, I'm probably not like 100% accurate here in graphing these. So I'm going to use my straight edge and I'm going to use my slope to find more points. So -3/2 is my slope. Should I use that from 1 2/3 or should I use it from 2 1/2? 2 1/2 seems a little bit easier, yeah. I could go down 3, but I have to go down 3 units. I'm not going down 3 like lines. I'm going down 3 units, so you're going to end up at the half mark, at the half mark, at the half mark, and then over 2. And then we're going to go down 3 over 2. And eventually I'm going to run out of space, so I can also go up 3, left 2. Up 3, left 2. As long as you have a few points and then you use your straight edge, you should have a pretty accurate line. I want you to try this next one on your own, and then I'll catch up. So I'm going to catch up to you. You'll see, oh yeah, there's a different thing on this one. Okay, so we got to graph this, and what's my problem now? Yeah, my unit, yeah. So I'm going to have to change my scale, and you are allowed, if you want, to change the X and Y axis, like with different amounts. Most of the time, I'm going to try to keep them the same, because I just think it's like easier to kind of zoom out rather than skew it a certain way. So I'm going to try to keep this one the same, but I'm going to ask something of you. When I grade these papers, it is very difficult when everybody has their own special way to show me that you changed the scale. Okay? I remember marking so many papers wrong and then figuring out later, oh, they wrote me some random note like way over here that said they changed the scale. I want to look at your graph and know immediately that you changed the scale. So what I'm going to ask is that you label 2 numbers at each axis, minimal, just 2 numbers. So I know you changed your scale. So some of you worked ahead. Did you count by 5s or did you count by 10? Most people by 5s, 10s is totally fine as well. Just put 2 numbers, and I don't care which 2. Just put 2 numbers so I can tell what you're counting by. If you put like, if you're counting by 5s, and what would be halfway through? Like 25 and then 50. And I'll do that on the x-axis. 25 and then 50. I can tell, or put like 5, 10, and then I can figure it out. Like I can tell now what you're counting by, and that's very minimal work. That way I don't have to go search for it somewhere else. Like it's right there on the graph what I'm grading. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so if I'm counting by I'm going to put a point at negative 30, 0, and if you're counting by 5 or 10, you don't have to change yours to be the same as mine. You could do your 10. That's totally fine as well. And then I'm counting by 5, 0, 45. We're going to be there for the y. If I need to find more points, check this out. It's something that not everybody realizes. If I need to find more points, I'm going to use my slope. What's my slope? 3/2. And if I'm counting by 5s, am I going to go up 1, 2, 3 over 2? No, because the slope is just a reduced form of every possible slope that could be. So really our slope could be 3x over 2x, because that reduces down to 3 over 2. And x could be any number you want. That means I could, if I want, go up 3 5s over 2 5s. I can just count the boxes if my axes were the same scale. Like if you made one of them by 5s and one of them by 10s, you cannot do this. But if you made them if you changed them by the same amount, you can just go up your slope still. Because it's 3 5s over 2 5s, which reduces to 3 over 2. Yay. All right. Next few examples are kind of like some that we did yesterday. I'm not going to do all of the next few examples so I can make sure I get to the very end. We'll do this one just to review. We have to rewrite this equation in standard form. All of these equations have to be written in standard form. We're doing standard form today. So right now it's in slope-intercept form. Who can tell me what I need to do first to start changing it into standard form? Well, then I want to pick on people so I can start finding names as well. Eden. You know what I should do first? Well, if I multiply by 3 over 2, I understand what you're going for, but if I multiply like this, oops, that's not it. Let me try that again. If I multiply the y, because if I multiply everything, I'm going to have to multiply everything. If I multiply this one by 3 over 2, what were we trying to do? What form are we trying to get it to? Standard form. And standard form is ax plus by equals c. And what do we remember about the first number of standard form? Positive. And what do we remember about a, b, and c? No fractions. So if I'm trying to get rid of this fraction and multiply by 3 over 2, what's going to happen over here? I have another fraction. So there's a better number to multiply by. Is it Anna?
I was just going to say, couldn't you do, since you know that it's a negative a over b, couldn't you technically, since you know that a has to be positive, just do 2x minus 3y? If that works, since it's technically the slope of it.
Not always, because if this number was a reduced form, so not always.
Okay.
I would just manipulate the equation, move stuff around, multiply by something, but it's not the reciprocal we're going to multiply by. Rachel?
I was gonna say move 4 to the other side of the equation.
Okay.
And y to the other side, so x and y are on the same side.
Okay, so you're going to say 4 equals 2/3 x minus y. So she's manipulating by adding the 4 to both sides, subtracting the y from both sides, and she's getting closer to that form of ax plus by equals c. What can we do next?
Are you asking?
No. I'm thinking of his name. Help me out. Tristan.
Multiply both sides by 3.
Okay. So we're going to multiply both sides by 3. We're going to multiply everything by 3. And Tristan says we're going to multiply by 3 because here we're dividing by 3. If we divide by 3, then we multiply by 3. They undo each other. We'll have 12 equals 2x minus 3y. Is this in standard form? No. Not yet. Faith?
Right the other way.
Switch it all around. Yeah. 2x minus 3y equals 12. And you know, while you're multiplying, you could even switch it during that step. You don't have to show those steps as separate steps, but do please write the order ax, by, then c. Okay? And then let's do the next one. I'm going to stop talking. I want to see how you guys would kind of problem solve this on your own before the teacher just tells you how I would do it. So look at that. It's a horizontal line that passes through the point -7, 10. We can write it in standard form. You start trying to problem solve that on your own. Is it fifth grade somehow that I could look for? Okay, look at me. What time are we done? 10? Everybody get an answer? Brayden, what'd you get?
I'm not sure if this is the standard form, but
Right.
y equals 10.
It isn't standard form. Because standard form would be ax plus by equals c, and you're not going to write 0x plus, like you're not going to write that part. So this is correct. And how did you get it, may I ask?
Well, it says horizontal line.
So you knew it was y equals, and then how did you know it was 10?
Because that's the y intercept.
Well, it's not the y-intercept, but like,
That's the point.
yeah, that's the y value at that order pair. You can maybe even graph it if you're a visual person. -7, 10. Draw the line and go, oh, that's y equals 10. Okay? I'm skipping the next two, because we did those in our homework already. I just want to go to example 3 here. This is a word problem. It's an actual, like, real life. It says that we're going to write this answer in standard form. Each book in a store costs $10. Each magazine costs $6. If you want to spend exactly $32, you have a gift card for $32 and you can only use it at that store. Okay. Write an equation in standard form modeling this situation. Let x represent the number of books you buy and y represent the number of magazines you buy. So x is the number of books, y is the number of magazines. You have a $32 gift card. How do we set that up? Rebecca, can you tell me?
Okay, 10x plus 6y equals 32.
Perfect. So you $10 per book, $6 per magazine, add that together, equals $32. No exam test. Those are pretty. Okay? Your assignment is a worksheet. If you have questions, please come see me and ask me questions. I'm handing out the worksheet now. And let's read directions, pay attention to the point value. Don't skip writing stuff down. Use your notes. Some of you that I handed your word to, don't put it away. I'll pull the tape back out. We have about 5 minutes to go. 4 minutes. We can hang from the bottom. All right, if you have your word to hang up, come get some tape from me. And then if I didn't find yours yet, I promise I'll find it. Unless you didn't turn it in, and then we'll be in trouble. Don't put tape balls. Just stick it up there. Do you want to maybe still start? Okay. All right. Did I find yours? No. Oh, I so confused. All right. Who else haven't I found besides you? What's your name? Olivia. Rebecca? Did I find yours yet? No. Okay. Olivia? You guys are right on top. I'll have to hang it tomorrow. Who else besides Jade am I still looking for? Anybody? Just Jade. Just Jade. Okay, well, you take. Jade, did you put your name on the back? Yes. Okay. Oh, here you are. Gotcha. All right, is there anybody else who didn't get the hangers up? I'll let them in yours. I'll get yours. There you go. How nice does that wall look? Except for outgoing. I have to fix it.
What's wrong with it?
It's like nobody did it like sideways. So now my OCD is kind of taking over. If everybody had done them sideways, you see how that one is like sideways and nobody else did it. What the world now?
Oh, you.
That one doesn't bother me as much because it's so far away, but like.
I thought you know really like.
Oh no, that one's excellent. She would hung hers up perfect, you know. Oh, the beautiful, that one with outgoing with the beautiful flower, that one. Oh, that was really good. That's hers. Gracie said next year. May. That's hers. No, that really good one with the outgoing with the flower. It's super artsy. And she was one of the first people to hang it up. I don't know if somebody in here or not, but nobody else followed the let's angle it thing. Not popular. Little bit of OCD over here. Alright, who listens to directions? Partially good. You guys having a wonderful day? What happened? Oh, yeah.
So like voted on this one.
The wall like rejects anything being hung on it, so hopefully it I don't know what they put on it over there. And I had all these really big posters up there last year, and you can see the posters still there, and I fell off all year that my brain all worked. Great. Have a great day. I have the rest of your day. Thank you, you too. Welcome.
So I just definitely recorded that entire end of the conversation.